Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me Morseed America, and I'm gonna review Transcended Draco Blackaria. Now, I already did a redo for Transcended Draco Grayso, and the reason why I'm redoing Blackaria is because my old recording was complete shit. So, this is kind of ironic because Blackaria and Grayso are a couple, they're a pair. If you didn't know that, I just spoiled that for you. However, this was hinted at way back then in February 2017 when Global Gameville did an event called Who Admired Who First. I think the Korean Dragon Blaze had something going on as well, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, I will talk about some stuff that's not related to... it's related to Blackaria, but if you just want to get right into the review, there's a timestamp in the description below. And the next few minutes, I'm also going to spoil some stuff from storyline content. So if you haven't played the game yet and you still need to finish chapter 1, 2, and 2, and maybe 3, then go ahead and skip to the beginning of this review because I don't want to spoil it for you guys unless you don't mind being spoiled. Anyways, when it comes to Blackaria and Grayso, those two are a couple, but the game never exactly showed how these two got together, and not only that, I don't know who asked out who first. I should have got the results from it, but I must have fucked up somewhere when it comes to the event, or maybe I forgot to put in my email or something, but I don't have the results for the who admired who first. It should be obvious when it comes to Death Crown, Mercedes, and Winloon and Bloodwind, but for Grayso and Blackaria, there's not a huge hint saying who asked out who first, and it doesn't even show how these two got together. For Bloodwind and Winloon, that's the same case as well. However, it's kind of obvious that those two got together because Bloodwind hangs around with the Elven Queen. When it comes to Mercedes and Death Crown, it's obvious that the entire chapter 1 is revolved around these two, well, most of the time, and yeah, they're madly in love with each other, so they even wanted to die together, so yeah, that was a big giveaway. So, yeah, once again, my question is, how the hell did Blackaria and Grayso got together, and who asked out who first? I feel like Blackaria chased after Grayso. Grayso seems a bit relaxed when it comes to doing whatever he wants to do. But that's just me stating my opinion. I don't know his true personality, and if they do make an anime series out of this game, then hopefully they can explain a lot of lore that isn't explained in-game. Anyways, that's enough of me rambling and talking about the lovey-dovey stuff. And yes, I do know there is some sort of rivalry with Gaella and Grayso, and there might be some little, admiration or lovey-dovey crushingness sort of dealio going on, but I'll save that stuff for Gaella when I go over her Transcended Ally review. Alright, so let's get started and talk about Blackaria. Now, to make her, you will need 1 ultimate deified Draco Blackaria, 1 ultimate Epsilon Dragon Buster Key, 50 Transcended Essences, and 50 million gold. Her role is a healer, and she's a priest. And if you don't know her race, she's a Draco. For weapon effects, you want 2 times the cooldown reduction, or 1 times the cooldown reduction, and 1 times damage over time. However, because she's a healer and she doesn't even deliver a lot of DPS, I might advise the cooldown more than the cooldown and then damage over time. For weapon stats, critical damage, critical rate, defense penetration, or boss damage, and intelligence. For cards, for single ones, you want attack speed, and for dual skill cards, you want intelligence and attack speed. When it comes to triple U cards, I will be looking at the Korean tier list to see if there's any more cards that you may want to grab. But when it comes to her performance, apparently Inotive doesn't have this updated yet, so I will go to the Korean tier list to display her performance in these certain modes. But when it comes to her abilities, her survivability and support is really up there. Her crowd control is low along with her offensive, but when it comes to offensive capabilities, she doesn't deliver it that much because she's a healer. Before I continue on, let me just state this. If you want to know how to get the Korean Dragon Blaze, if you want to have the links to these websites as well, everything will be provided in the description below. But when it comes to Transcended Blackaria, she is ranked 12 on the Korean tier list. Now, you could use this as a reference, you can heed its advice, or you can just ignore it, it's up to you. But her general focus is in PvP. However, I'll also state that she's good in PvE because she's a healer. And not only that, she's good at her revives, especially if you max her out and get her max skill. Now, some other stuff Inotive didn't mention would be the optional suggested skill card stats like stamina or the damage reduction. You can look at the other details when it comes to what her active, passive, ultimate, max skills can do. Let's talk about her modes she excels in. When it comes to Blackaria, she's really good in Revenge of Belphegor, Tower Validation, Guild Battles, Arena, and then she's also good in Golem, Cerberus, Hydra, Chariot, Guild Adventure, Guild Conquest, and and most likely almost everything except Tag Match, because once again, she's gonna go 1v1 and she's a healer, so she's not gonna win. And her score is 8.36 out of 10. Anyways, that's it when it comes to reviewing the Korean tier list. Let me know in the comments below if you think she's also good in other modes as well. That's not mentioned in here, like Caledon Dungeon and some other good stuff. And if there's other skill cards you would aim for, also put that down in the description below. Now let's talk about her abilities. Blacaria's normal attack heals all allies or deals AoE damage to all enemies. Now, with the preview screen, I think it showcased both, but if you actually own her and take her to the battlefield, it's just going to show one or the other. So if she heals, you're going to see a green light kind of burst off of them, and if she does an AoE attack, it's going to target everyone, and all she does is have her tiger roar at them, and yeah, it targets everyone. Now, her first active skill, Playing God, grants self-immunity for 3 seconds, recovers entire party's HP by 1550% of attack, and AoE continuous heal of 194% of attack every second for 6 seconds. Cooldown for this is 7.1 seconds, and if you have cooldown reductions, this can be reduced. This is what her first active ability looks like. She tosses a ball of light into the sky, gets some help from her tiger, and yeah. Pretty much this will heal you and give you some AoE continuous healing as well. Moving on to the second ability. March Blessing. Cures all debuffs of all allies and increases party attack by 270%, attack speed by 34% for 13 seconds. This buff stacks up to 2 times. Cooldown for this is 15.5 seconds. Now, this is what her second ability looks like. You can think of this as a magnification with, a cure for debuff. Or, yeah, cures all debuffs. This will last longer, but for the preview, it doesn't stay that long. So, I will be taking Blackaria out on the battlefield in a bit. When it comes to her last active skill, hopefully I'm pronouncing this right, Hymn of Hope. I feel like I butchered that, but whatever. Revives 2 allies and grants them 8-second invulnerability and increase their attack by 191%. Also, if revive ally holds a key, revives the key state as well. If you're confused with that, it basically means that if let's say your main character dies along with the key, Blackaria can revive the key and the main character. So she's a better version of Shiva, because she can revive a dead person. Shiva cannot do that. She can only revive the key, not the person. So if a person dies, Shiva can't revive the dead character. Cooldown for this is 32 seconds, and that can be reduced. Now, this is what her third active skill looks like. Nothing fancy. All she does is open up an umbrella, then she kind of has the cupids kind of signaling the revive. And this is very handy, so you don't need to use a revive scroll. And this will most likely allow you to stay longer in the fight. But that's pretty much it with active skills. Her first passive skill is Lion of Hope. Any debuff cast upon Blackaria will only last 1 second. Grants party invulnerability for 8 seconds when Blackaria dies. slightly handy. Second passive skill, Blacaria's Care. Increase party stamina by 30%. For each Transcended Draco in the team, self stamina plus 10%, party incoming magic damage negative 30%. And once again, if you have a bunch of Transcended Dracos, they're gonna stack off of each other. Max skill, Miracle of Life. 5 seconds after Blacaria's death, she will revive herself with 100% HP. Resets all cooldowns and grants self invulnerability for 5 seconds. Cooldown for this is 48.7 seconds. Now, this is really deadly if you do not finish the fight. Because if there's a max Blackaria in the enemy's team, and you are about to win, but she's about to revive, you're gonna have another hard fight ahead of you, because she's gonna revive the damn party. This is why I was kinda icky when I fight against a bunch of people in Fortress Battle in the Korean Dragon Blaze. Blackaria is really good if you max her out. This also applies to PvP stuff, because she will continuously do this as long as she's in your party and the cooldown is resetted. So, let's say you're doing World Boss, you're doing well, then she dies, and then most of your party dies, and then she decides to revive the party, and you're able to last again, so she can have her max skill to kick in. Yeah, Blackaria is a very, very good reviver and healer, because she doesn't stay dead. Unless you are able to have your entire party killed, or you just kill the enemy party ASAP. But yeah, pretty much that's my experience when it comes to this damn max skill. Now, her ultimate skill increases her buff skill second. I think this is referring to the second active. Attack by 135% and attack speed by 17%. Total is 405% attack with 51% attack speed. Also, any revived target by her will be... Okay, the wording of this kind of... Yeah. So, also, any revived target will be granted an additional invulnerability for 3 seconds. Yeah, the wording kind of threw me off, so I decided to word it differently. Pretty much, I would say, when it comes to Blackaria, her max skill is a good thing to get, compared to just going for ultimate skill. But it's your call if you want to go make her into ultimate status as well. Like I stated, she's a very good healer and reviver. Now, what I will do for my ending credits is actually take her out on a date. And I'm bringing Transcendent Margaret with me because I know my paladin can't just dish out, DPS. And if I go to myth mode for chapter 4 at the last stage, he won't survive. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you have Blackaria or if you plan to get her in the global version of Dragon Blaze, and also give me some insight about what you think about Grayso and Blackaria and all this other good stuff. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.